right now. A breaking news alert from News 9 WAOW.
We're following several breaking stories this morning. First, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling Congress can't get President Donald Trump's tax and financial records for now. Meanwhile, the Wisconsin Supreme Court also making its ruling on lame duck laws. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nina Paholke. First, we're going to go to Washington, D.C., where ABC's Inez de la Cutera breaks down the justice's decision.
This morning, the Supreme Court ruling on two separate but similar cases involving President Trump's financial records. One, a subpoena from a grand jury in Manhattan. The other, a subpoena from the House Ways and Means Committee. Both involve the same set of financial documents, including the president's tax returns. Today, the justices sending both cases back to the lower courts. In a 7-2 opinion in the Manhattan DA case, Chief Justice John Roberts writing, "We hold that the president is neither absolutely immune from state criminal subpoenas seeking his private papers, nor entitled to a heightened standard of need." The justice is giving the president the chance to raise further arguments as appropriate in lower courts. On the case involving Congress, the court again in a 7-2 ruling reversing the lower court decision upholding the 4 congressional subpoenas for Trump's financial records, criticizing the lower court for not adequately taking into account the separation of powers, sending it back to them for further review.
And these 7-2 reaffirmations of the principle that the president is subject to some ordinary legal process are a significant statement.
The president repeatedly claiming his returns are complicated and that he's being audited.
I'll release them when the audit's completed.
His lawyers arguing the president cannot be investigated while in office, but the IRS code stating that when requested, the Treasury Secretary shall turn over tax returns to certain congressional committees that have the oversight. The case testing the balance of power between the White House and Congress. Democrats on Capitol Hill hoping the documents might shed some light on whether there was any foreign influence over the Trump family business. Another big question, whether the hush money payments to 2 women who claimed they had affairs with the president violated any campaign finance laws. It now seems unlikely the president's tax returns will be made public before the November election. Inez de la Cutera, ABC News, Washington.
Well, Liz, talk about some wet weather. We had thunderstorms yesterday, more dumping this morning, but at least it's cooling things down a little.
Yeah, that's the good news. If you wanted the cooler weather, it's going to be here because of the rain showers, but thunderstorms this morning, thunderstorms redeveloping later on that we're going to have to keep an eye on. So as you head out the door, make sure you grab all of the rain gear because definitely dealing with quite a bit of rain showers just this morning. These will continue to diminish, but then more developing on later on in the afternoon. Just a couple of heavier downpours, just becoming a little bit more scattered once you head farther south of Wausau. Otherwise, the Northwoods still seeing some pretty widespread rain throughout the majority of the area. Those chances for severe weather mainly south of the Wausau area, but really not out of the question to see a strong storm or two hold itself together far enough to go far enough north. And again, those big threats for today, we're talking about strong winds and heavy rain, especially with all of the rain that we got last night and into this morning. So definitely make sure to keep this as a day that you're staying weather aware throughout the day. Like Nina said, temperatures are already down because of this. We're already seeing temperatures in those 60s, even some 70s right now. So a little bit of a cooler day. Temperatures, high temperatures because of this cooling trend, only getting to about those low to mid 80s. But I have more on a nice weekend ahead and more on what you need to know for the storms to come. We'll have a full timetable in just a little bit.
See you soon, Liz. New at 11, the Wisconsin Supreme Court rules to uphold provisions of the lame duck laws passed back in 2018. This means the court believes the laws limiting the powers of the governor and attorney general are constitutional. GOP lawmakers passed these laws back before Governor Evers and Attorney General Josh Kaul were sworn into office. This was the second attempt by liberal groups to overturn the lame duck laws. The Service Employee International Union argues the laws violate the state's constitution's separation of powers. Governor Tony Evers responding to the ruling, calling Republicans, quote, sour grapes in the passing of the laws back in 2018. He went on to say, and I quote, Republicans are going to continue working against me every chance they get, regardless of the consequences. But I'm not going to let that stop me from continuing to do what I promised I would when I ran for this office. I'm going to keep putting people first and doing what's best for those of our state. Attorney General Josh Kaul also responding to the decision, saying in part, the lame duck laws have made it more difficult for state government to function effectively. New at 11, we're following two separate cases of missing women in our area. The first, a teen from Wisconsin Rapids. Wisconsin Rapids PD is asking for immediate public help finding Justine Marie Gasell. You see her picture on the screen. She's believed to be suicidal from a note she left on a family member's computer. She was last seen last night off 17th Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids. She's described as 5'10" with long brown hair and blue eyes. Meanwhile, police in Menominee say they're searching for a woman as well. Caitlin Kelly has been missing from the Menominee Reservation since June 16th, and they say she is believed to be in danger. She's 5'4" with straight black hair and brown eyes. The Menominee Tribal Police say she was last seen on the reservation wearing a gray t-shirt, blue jean shorts, and flip-flops. Anyone with information is asked to call tribal police immediately. Also new at 11, Glee actress Naya Rivera reportedly missing at a Southern California lake. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office say they were searching for a possible drowning victim last night. They say Rivera came to the lake and rented a boat with a young child. Hours later, another boater discovered a child on board asleep and alone. Rivera has a 4-year-old son who was reportedly found on the boat. Search and rescue efforts continue for Naya.
Right now, a breaking news alert from News 9 WAOW.
More breaking news just into the newsroom this morning. We're learning Marathon County will begin requiring county-level employees to wear face masks starting Monday. Judy Burrows with the County Health Department says all employers have the ability to put a policy like this in place and that it's for the safety of the public. Residents of the county are not a part of the policy. It merely impacts county employees. We'll have more on this tonight at 5 and 6. The U.S. reaches a grim milestone. There are now more than 3 million confirmed coronavirus cases in the country. This comes as the U.S. sees its 5th daily record of COVID cases in 9 days. Cases continue to increase in 35 states, with 5 setting records as well. Now, Wisconsin, not one of those states. However, we are seeing cases steadily increase. About 600 new cases were confirmed yesterday. Those represent about 5.5% of all new tests. We've gone above 33,000 positive tests since the outbreak began. However, no new deaths have been reported since yesterday morning, keeping the death toll at 810. The Labor Department reports another 1.3 million people filed for first-time unemployment claims last week. Continued claims, which count workers who have filed claims for at least 2 weeks in a row, standing at 18.1 million last week. Many states have paused economic reopening schedules following the nationwide rise in cases that will likely keep people at home and not working even longer. And many of us are wondering what will happen when school resumes in the fall. School districts and colleges have a lot to consider. How they reopen during the ongoing pandemic, the safety of students and staff members when they do, a threat from the president to cut federal aid, and for colleges, new federal guidelines that could force their international students to leave the country. One of the biggest questions is how schools will handle classes. A survey shows most parents in one Wisconsin community support sending their kids back into the classroom.
He's really excited that he made it to the 2nd grade.
7-year-old AJ Ward misses his friends. He's been stuck at home since the pandemic hit, but for Mom, things are a bit more complicated.
To keep him home either one more semester just makes more sense.
Parents across the district disagree. A survey found 80% of parents would be comfortable having their young kids go back to school in person. For middle and high schoolers, the data almost identical. Half of parents wanted all learning to be in person. That survey was conducted by an independent firm. The pandemic delaying the April deadline to file taxes, but now you have less than a week to file. News 9's Sarah McGrew explains what to keep in mind before filing by next Wednesday.
Tax day in July.
Unprecedented. It's been very unusual.
The dreaded deadline usually in the spring, now in the dead heat of summer.
Coronavirus came in right in the middle of tax season, and the IRS found that they were having a to shut down themselves quite a bit.
Places like H&R Block also having to close down due to the pandemic and shifting the way they help folks prepare their taxes.
Mailing back and forth and not seeing people in person, but we got to talk to them on the phone.
But despite the delay, little has changed when it comes to filing taxes.
There's a new 1040 SR for seniors and retirees.
But if you've gone through a major life change since last year, it might be a good idea to reach out for some help.
If you retired, if you got married, if you got divorced, if you had a child, bought a home, started a business, those are good times to get some help if you're used to doing it by yourself.
And if you still don't have everything together by July 15th,
there is still an extension. You can get an extension through October 15th.
But even with an extension, you'll have to estimate how much you owe and make sure that payment is postmarked by July 15th. And at the end of the day, for all of us procrastinators, expert advice remains the same.
Better sooner than later.
If you're looking forward to getting your tax return back, she says direct deposit typically takes about 21 days and a check in the mail about 4 weeks. Time now is 11:10. A key Republican senator says there's still hope to salvage the police reform bill on Capitol Hill. What's keeping his hope alive? Next. Plus, the steps UW-Madison is taking to address racial inequities on campus right after the break.